Hello, I'm Father Joe Gambala, pastor of St. Malachy Catholic Church. Welcome to our continuing Advent series. Our Advent series is about the saints in the Advent season. Today's saint, whose day is December the 9th, is Saint Juan Diego. Juan Diego was born an Aztec Indian in the time of the Aztec Empire, a very vast, large empire that encompassed most of Mexico, built a great city in what's now Mexico City, had an amazingly complex culture, and then the Spaniards arrived. And when the Spaniards arrived, led by Cortez, the conquistador, they came with weapons and horses, and without the Spaniards really knowing it, disease as well. And mostly because of the disease, they were able to conquer the Aztec Empire and establish control over all of Mexico. So Juan Diego was born an Aztec in an empire and saw that empire fall. He also saw most of the people he knew die, because most historians think that between 70 and 80% of all the Indians died of diseases of one kind or another that the folks there had no immunity to. So it was a very tragic period and a tough period. Juan Diego would grow vegetables for a living, and he would carry them in from his little plot of land, his little farm, into what's now downtown New Mexico City. Now, you must understand, Mexico City is just a tiny fraction then of what it is today, a massive city. But he'd go in the center and he'd sell his vegetables. He was very impressed with the friars that were there, and he became baptized. He became a Catholic. And he continued going back and forth selling his vegetables depending upon what was in season. Well, one day he was walking into the town of Mexico City carrying his vegetables. He passed a hill. Now, the Aztec Indians would name their hill, and this particular hill's name was Tepeyac. So he got to Tepeyac when this lady appears to him. And the lady introduces herself to Juan Diego as the Virgin Mary. And she says to Juan Diego, that bishop has been neglecting the Indians out here. He has sent no missionaries out of the town. He should be out here and build a church so that the Indians out here can come to know the Lord. Go to the bishop's house and tell him that I appeared to you and that this is what I want him to do. Juan Diego said, okay. He went into town, sold his vegetables, went to the bishop's house, knocked on the door. The porter, one of the bishop's assistants, opened the door. Juan Diego said, I'm here with a message for the bishop. The porter just looked at this raggedy little Indian and said no and closed the door. So Juan Diego was walking back home, and as he got to the hill of Tepeyac again, the Virgin Mary appeared. And Juan Diego said, my lady, I tried, but they wouldn't even, they closed the door on my face. And the Virgin Mary says, well, we'll present a gift to the bishop and he will receive you. And the Virgin Mary looked up to heaven and roses came down from heaven. Roses rained down from heaven. And the Virgin Mary said to Juan Diego, gather up these roses. And wasn't the season for roses. So they'll take them to the bishop and he'll be very surprised. He'll know this is a real miracle. So what Juan Diego did is he took the blanket that the folks would carry over their shoulders. You might have seen paintings of people dressed like that. And he took that cloth, and it's called a serape, and he gathered up the roses and he put it in his serape and he bundled them up, and he walked all the way back into town, went to the bishop's house and knocked on the door again. The porter opened up the door, and Juan Diego said, I have a gift for the bishop. So the porter let him in, and the bishop came out, and Juan Diego said, the Virgin Mary has appeared to me, bishop, and her message is that you're to send priests out to the hill of Tepeyac and build a church for the Indians out there so they can come to know the faith. And to show you that she truly has appeared, she has presented you this beautiful gift. And he unfurled his tilde. But on the cloak, there weren't any more roses. The roses had disappeared. Instead, on the cloak itself, on the tilde itself, on the serape itself, was this picture. This picture of the Virgin Mary, Our Lady of Guadalupe. And if you look at it, she appears as an Aztec Indian woman, and She's standing on the black crescent moon, which is a symbol of the Aztec Indians, showing that she has overcome the pagan faith. And the most interesting thing about the picture is she's wearing a Spanish gown used for pregnant women, an embrazada. She's wearing an embrazada because the Virgin Mary is pregnant. She's pregnant with the Lord Jesus. A beautiful, beautiful painting that I have seen myself, and you can see it too if you ever get down to Mexico City and visit the Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe. So Juan Diego goes back, the bishop sends out priests, sends out workmen, some of the Indians volunteer, and they do build a church in honor of the Lord and name it after Our Lady. They call her Our Lady of Guadalupe, and many people come to the faith that way. And as for Juan Diego, he continued selling his vegetables until he got old, and then he was set up in a little room in a house for visitors, and he stayed there for the rest of his life praying and telling everybody who wanted to hear the story of how the Virgin Mary visited him. It's a beautiful story of faith, a beautiful story of persistence, a beautiful story of sharing God's love and bringing the faith to others.